if the Indian taxpayer is paying 6 lakh crores every year for maintaining of their military based on the threats and challenges that we have, then indeed it is important for the legislators and for the parliamentarians and also the government to know whether they're getting the bang for the buck. So to discuss it, and whole lot of these issues are discussed in the parliamentary committees, and we have been at least saying that the parliamentarians and the politicians must be involved into all matters military. When you discuss all matters military, then matters relating to recruitment are also important enough for meriting discussion. I am not here referring to the Agnipath scheme alone, but let's not bias ourselves to only Agnipath. What about everything else? What about the threats and the challenges? What about the national military strategies? So when
Right.
they want to discuss it, I think holistically, it must be discussed in a manner because all countries, democracies,
Yes.
the issues relating to military get discussed.
It's just too early to decide how effective the boys will be or will be not. It's just been the first 2 to 3 years. Ordinarily, we'd be able to only see their capabilities, one, if there was some kind of action or if there was some kind of battle, or they were introduced into some kind of operation. And secondly, anything to do with the effectiveness of the army takes a long time. So, since the scheme has been introduced, I would say give it time, give us time to study it, and give it time to settle down. As we said, it's under review at the Ministry of Defense. Uh, Everything that's introduced takes time to, settle down, and the reviews are of issues that need to be changed so that the best possible uh, set of rules to
Right.
come in this recruitment of our soldiers.
Absolutely.
I would,
Yes.
the issue is, I'd like to say, is that while I am an advocate for also experience, all leadership of our soldiers is based on experience. Our our middle level leadership at the Jawan level,
Yes.
that means at the other ranks level, the Lance Naik, the Naik, Havaldar, all these actually come from the soldiers they recruit.
Yes.
So this needs time for us to find out who is good and who is not good enough. Maybe when a scheme is finally made suitable and we have tested it in all test beds, only then can we find what is needed to be changed or tweaked.
Right.
A pilot project could have been held. If you take the first 4 years as a pilot project itself, there are two issues which are relevant.
Yes.
Would Agniveer be part and parcel of a cohesive unit, which is the basics of all fighting? Whether they will be able to become part and parcel, fight with the others. There may be 30 Agniveers coming to a unit in a unit of 850. Will they be part of it? Second, will they support the issue of warfare and kind of tensions that we have on the CICT front or on the LAC or the line of control? Will they be able to do so? Now we take a feedback from the units for there and for our own centers, and the feedback we get is that the boys who are coming in are fairly competitive.
Right.
When you compare it with the previous lot of people who used to come, they are also well read. I mean, they are educationally better because it's a very, very highly competitive world.
Yeah.
And when they join in here, they are in a competition with each other also because they have to now prove a mettle because the weeding out is very, very stiff. Out
Right.
of 100, you keep 25 is very stiff.
Yes.
So I think on all those two scores, these two scores on cohesion and on as competence as it is being, as the boys have come in, and as part of the warfare which will take place, I have personally speaking no doubt that they will be able to achieve many things. They have many minuses. We can discuss the
Yes.
minuses, but I think on these two scores and the score of being educationally better off, the quality of people that we're getting, I think there is a pat on the back. I am not sure if that was a serious problem because the larger lot of people earn their pension in 15 years,
Right.
and they tend to leave the army at 17 or 19 years, 16 to 19 years. That's the bulk of the army, which goes as Nayaks in a Nayak rank. Now, if you say that, they will be leaving at 35 years of age. So, 35 to 38. If they're 35 to 38, that's the bulk of the army leaving,
Yes.
going out at the Sepoy or Nayak rank. I think they were young enough to fight it. And the youth has not been an issue with us in Kargil or in line of actual control or anywhere we are fighting it. So whether it will reduce the age by a year, 2 years, or 3 years, I don't think is a material issue. People are deployed there, in very difficult areas and doing very difficult tasks even now. And I don't think we can judge it by saying that the Kargil war, we had older people. The officers may have been older,
Right.
but the troops were not older at all. And no, so I don't think that makes a very material difference to me
Right.
as the age profile part of it. Though that's been statistically proven by
Yes.
the establishment saying that the age will be reduced further, but then that. But the two small issues here. One is when Jan Harbaksh wrote his experiences of 1965 war, and the experiences of 65 war are not so relevant in 2025. I do respect Jan Harbaksh,
Yes.
but the relevance of that thing is not there. And secondly, the short service commission for the officers is absolutely differently tailored than this, if you call this Agnipath scheme as a short service commission. So that they're two separate issues altogether. And we would say that if it is short service commission, then allow the advantages of a short service commission officer also be taken by Agnipath soldier. Why should you have Agnipath soldier as a separate rank altogether?
Right.
While a short service officer, there is no difference between NDA or IMA
Right.
or short service. He gets the same salary, he gets the same perks and privileges, he gets the same kind of on death. His family gets the same thing. If it is short service commission, then so be it. It should be like short service commission. Why
Right.
did you have differentiation for Agnipath? Quite some time it has been spoken of that the Indian Army is bloated, too highly manpower intensive.
Right.
So I reckon when the thing started, the scheme started being conceptualized by whoever was conceptualizing it,
Yes.
it came up that it was pre-2020, and there were issues here that there was a thought process we can reduce the Indian army by 2 lakhs because the northern border was not active, and the Pakistanis have also taken a step backwards, and
Yes.
the Jammu and Kashmir after 370 was also improving. So maybe one of the thought processes was to optimize the force level. I mean, the number of people from 12.5 lakhs to 12.50 lakhs to bring them to about, say, 10 and a half, a little more. So, one was the issue of this bringing optimizing the strength of it.
Yes.
This particular part has actually gone for a six totally after the Chinese came and tapped on our doors in
Right.
2020.
Right.
If that was a concept in which brought up cost, now we see there is rising tensions in south of Pir Panjal. There are large commitments
Yes.
in Manipur. So, that manpower reduction, if that was an objective, is I think has to be put on a back burner. It has
Absolutely.
to be live situation. Again, for a very long time, it has been stated that the revenue budget has bloated up. The
Yes.
revenue budget has gone so far high, especially for the army, that there is a problem of modernizing. So even if you see it now, even in last 10 years, the total budget, including the pension, has been about 2% of GDP, which is very low. And without the pension, it comes to about 1.5% of GDP.
Yes.
So the amount that the army gets for modernization, say 30 lakh crore, is grossly insufficient for modernizing such a large army against such very difficult adversaries. So that saving of the money, I think, must have been a back of the mind
Yes.
always.
Right.
Indeed, it would have affected after 15 years when the pensions would
Right.
have sorted out. But the work would have had to start now to reduce it.